Hello, everybody. My name's Rick McCutcheon, and welcome to Partnertalks. And we have a very special return guest, Amy Homan. Amy, tell the folks who you are and what you do for those who may not possibly know.
May not know. I know. Thanks, Rick, for having me on again. I feel like we're becoming buddies. We're doing a lot of these things together. So I'm Amy Homan. I am the president of Directions North America, and I am also the president of my company, All Your Ducks. And on the All Your Ducks side, I implement Shopify for Microsoft Business Central customers.
Okay, perfect. Amy, we just returned from Florida for another successful Directions event. So your team put on a fantastic 4 or 5 days that we were there, and maybe 6 days. I'm not sure how long I was there, but everybody I talked to had a great time. So tell us a little bit about Directions for those who possibly don't know, and the conference we had last week.
Yeah, so we were in sunny Orlando. I'm a little tan. I don't know about you there, Rick.
First tan,
but I did get a little outside time prior to being in the hotel. So yes, we brought Directions to Orlando this year, and we had just over 1,400 attendees, which is fairly exciting. We keep increasing our numbers every year, so that's amazing. Thank you guys all for attending. The event itself brings Microsoft Business Central partners together. This year, we're focused on welcoming those GP partners into the room so they could start learning all about their journey in BC, and we shared a lot of knowledge with them. This year, we also brought in some students from the University of Central Florida that are in their last year or recently graduated in degrees that could potentially be coming into our ecosystem as well. So that was also an opportunity for our owners to chat with new people to come into our space, and then also those students to get a feel for what it is that we do.
Okay, Amy, so let people know about Directions and, the board and the organization and your volunteers, because this is a volunteer-led organization, a volunteer-led conference, and I've got to say that, I was impressed because wherever I went, your volunteers were still working, whether it was at a help desk, a registration. One of the people I was with couldn't get their badge printed. They came over and printed it for them. So this is a big event, and your volunteer team is absolutely outstanding.
Thanks, Rick. Yes, they are a really great group of people. I would say that we are fortunate. This was our 21st in-person event, so there's a long-standing sort of cookie-cutter framework that we follow. But yes, we are all usually executives in different organizations, and then this is our volunteer job. We also do have one full-time staff member that kind of keeps all the wheels on the bus and keeps us moving in the right direction. But we are also always looking for more volunteers. So we have a board of 8 members, and so we meet every other week until we get close to the event. And then we also have an extended group of volunteers who join each of our committees and then support a committee chair with whatever their initiative is, whether that be in marketing, content, or sponsorships. Those are our big ones that we need a lot of support with. And technology as well. That's a newer committee that we've put in place over the last few years as we've changed our own technology and eaten our own dog food. So we do appreciate all of the volunteers that help us, and we are always looking for more, Rick, so be careful because I'm a really good recruiter.
I'll find some people for you, Amy. I'll give you a hand. So when we talk about the conference, it was a success. And, let's talk a little bit about the attendance. It was a record again this year, and the content, Microsoft's involvement.
Yeah, so Microsoft puts on roughly half of the sessions that we have out there. We actually had over 500 sessions submitted by our partner ecosystem alone. In total, we accepted just under 200 sessions. And again, almost half of those are driven by Microsoft, not quite half, maybe 40% of those are driven by Microsoft. So we really do appreciate the Microsoft team members. But the rest of those are all put on by our partner ecosystem. And it is amazing how many people raise their hands to share their knowledge and experience. So those are just record numbers for us, again, every single year. Microsoft's involvement, they usually bring right around 50 people most of them are coming from the product team so that you can actually speak to people that are developing the product. We actually had one partner while we were on site that had a customer that was down for a reason that was very, very hard to find. And that group unfortunately didn't get to attend as many sessions as they would have liked, but they had direct access to all the Microsoft support people and got a solution to their issue, which probably would have taken them a lot longer. So that was very happenstance for that partner to be on site at Directions. But that's one of the values in attending is you're getting access to the people that you don't normally get direct access to while you're there.
And we should give a shout out to the MVPs because you get a large group of MVPs coming in to help.
We did, yes. And we also got some new MVPs coming across the pond from Europe as well. So we're starting to get some interest from those to join and support us. So we get a little bit of a broader support network. And I'll tell you what, all those MVPs are really supportive of the content as well. We couldn't probably put this event on as spectacularly as we do without those people attending.
So Amy, AI is everywhere. Everybody's talking about it. We're engaged with AI. So let's talk a little bit about the conference and the AI message and what are the partners doing? What are we seeing with our community?
Well, I would say that we see a lot of the partners out there actually consuming AI directly themselves in their roles, which is really great. I think there's some partners with initiatives out there that say if you don't start adopting, you're going to probably not have a job before long. So hopefully everyone's getting the message that you do need to start adopting it. I would say that one of the greatest things that we see there is the amount of sharing of experiences and knowledge and the projects that people are working on. They're not fearful to share them with another partner. We don't compete as much amongst Business Central partners. Of course, there is competition, but that is one thing that is excellent about Directions as well. The amount of sharing that people do of their own experiences is phenomenal, and AI is definitely no different for us.
And I saw this between last year's show and this year's show because sort of the sidebar conversations last year was, well, Microsoft's telling us about AI and we're kind of looking at AI and do I have to do it yet or how am I going to do this? And then, I was in Europe for the EMEA, the conversation was starting to get real. And this year, the partner sidebar conversation was really about what are you doing? How is that working, right? So they're all doing something now and they're starting to work with each other to do it better. And I think that's where we want to get to.
Yes, I'll tell you, in the owner track, the conversations were phenomenal as well because there are some partner owners that are actually have initiatives within their organizations to completely adopt AI from all of their marketing all the way through their delivery services. And I think those partners are going to start seeing the greatest leverage that across our community as well. So I would say not just are the developers and the consultants out there doing it, but I see the sales and marketing teams certainly adopting AI and even the owners, which I think is a fantastic viewpoint as well.
And this group you have of business owners, I think is key because if you don't attend Directions and you don't attend the owner's track, you're falling behind. Because technically you can have, people showing you online and everything else how to get everything working and how to produce AI-driven solutions, but you really need to talk to the other owners to figure out what's the business model for this.
Right. I think that's the biggest challenge we're facing today, actually, Rick, is not people are starting to adopt AI. I think that's going to increase exponentially over time. But how do we start doing projects for customers that generate revenue for us, and how do we change our pricing models to be outcome or value based? And that's a big leap again for our community to have to transition our licensing and service models.
So I think there's a lot for partners to do over the next 12 months before Directions really meets again. So why don't we go there and talk about next year? And Directions is going to be in a very exciting city.
Yes, we're going to New Orleans, the Big Easy next year. So that'll be very exciting. Fantastic food. The weather's always really nice there in April as well. And so it'll be Sunday, April 19th to Tuesday, the 21st. And yes, we're rolling back to having a Sunday start day simply due to the hotel's availability. And it's getting crazy out there. There's so many events and we're having to get them booked further and further in advance. And so this year we're starting on Sunday, which means our partner marketing day for next year, Rick's going to be on Saturday, and all of our partner day as well.
Okay, and I think we're going to get a big crowd because we haven't been to New Orleans for a conference, and I'm going to say 10 years, at least.
At least. I think it's been longer, but at least, yes.
So there's a lot of people in the Microsoft ecosystem that have never been to a New Orleans conference, so they'll be looking forward to Directions 2027.
Woohoo! Thanks, Rick.
All right, Amy, I want to thank you for your time today, and really we appreciate everything that you and your volunteer committee do for pulling this event together and making it a fantastic event. And then next year, I'm sure you're going to outdo yourselves again.
Thanks for having me again, Rick. It's so wonderful to come on here and for you to share our message out to the BC universe and that GP universe too.
Okay, Amy, thanks a lot. Bye for now.
Bye.